All right, here's how you do problem 1 on the homework. So we're trying to find the standard deviation for these numbers right here. And the first thing I do is I write them down. I wrote them in numerical order and went through, but you can just write them in any order you want. So I'm dealing with the first part of my crazy equation for standard deviation. Once I have all the scores written down, I then need to subtract them from the average. The problem is I don't know what it is. So I'm going to quickly plug those into my calculator, figure out the average, which ends up being 6.4. So now I subtract each of these from 6.4. So I'll do 4 minus 6.4, which is negative 2.4. Again, I would do 4 minus 6.4 and get negative 2.4 again. 5 minus 6.4, all the way down till I get all of these numbers. So I've now dealt with this part of the equation. Now I go to the next part, the squaring. So I need to square each of the differences. Now note here, when you have a negative number, you need to put parentheses around it before you square it. So on my calculator, notice I have parentheses around it and then the square outside the parentheses. Negative numbers squared are always positive, so I get all of these answers for each one. As I square each of these answers, I get each of these. Okay, that gets me done with the squaring. Next part of the equation, the summation. So I'm going to add all of these up. That's what that means. So I add all of these numbers up, and I get 26.4. Terrific. One more thing to do, or two more actually. I now need to divide, a fraction is a division problem, by n minus 1. So I first figure out what n minus 1 is. There's 10 of these, so I go 10 minus 1, which equals 9. And I then am going to divide this number by 9. So I take 26.4, I divide it by n minus 1, which is dividing by 9, and I get 26.4 divided by 9 is 2.93. So close to being done. Very last step. I just need to take the square root of that number. So I took that, what I did here, I take the square root, and my final answer, finally, 1.71. This means that most numbers are 1.71 or within 1.71 of our average.